They are, I kid you not, the last numbers that they have well over 65,000 people at the border trying to get in. That's 65,000 a day. So do the math. So you're roughly at 65,000 a day. That's roughly another 17,000 people coming from South America countries trying to get access to America. Okay. We barely got room for the people that are here. So we finna import another 17,500 more. But he's put Kamala Harris in charge of this fiasco. In charge of this. Not only that, but Biden is doing the exact same thing Trump did with the immigration, with putting people in putting and having the individuals in the cages with the blankets and everything. So there's really no, there's no real solution to this immigration problem. Now, the head of immigration, I believe his last name is Alvarez. Go figure. And even Biden said the same thing. He's telling people, don't come here. We're trying to fix this problem. Operative word. He's telling them, don't come here. Yeah. This is relatively interesting. Telling them, don't come here at all. But that being said, it is what it is. It is what it is, and she's got to deal with it. Welcome to the real world, sweetie. Welcome to the real world. The second story, the second item that Kamala Harris is dealing with is that the presidential, okay, when the vice president, okay, obviously the president stays in the White House, but the vice president stays in another house that is near the naval base, which is the naval base, which is in Maryland. But here's the thing: Kamala Harris can't stay in that house. They can't stay in there because, get this, people, there's an issue. They're doing renovation in this home. Okay, they're doing renovation. Okay. So in the meantime, while they're doing the renovation, while they're doing that, Kamala Harris and her husband, they have to stay at the what I like to call is called the guest house. The guest house. Blair House, which is right across the street from the White House, which is catacorner to the projects. So welcome to the real world, Kamala. Welcome to the real world. Here's the thing. I thought Sleepy Joe was your boy. I thought Sleepy Joe had some type of pull to where he could get these contractors to move on getting these renovations done a lot sooner. Joe's been in his house a month and let's see. Joe's been in his house a month or 2 months. Been in his house 2 months, and you're not even able to get into yours. Once again, what does that go to show you, people? What does that go to show you? Once again, once a nigga, always a nigga. We got to understand. Remember, Joe right now is the proverbial Thomas Jefferson, and Kamala Harris is the modern day Sally Hemings. Modern day Sally Hemings. Modern day. And he's treating her like she is true. She's being treated like the literal word, the help. She's being treated like the help. Believe it or not, look this story up. They can't live in there. They cannot. But that was an interesting tidbit on what I saw today on the news feed. Now, the real topic, the real thing that what we're going to get into right now is the George Floyd trial started today. Opening arguments started today. And I saw news clips, and I saw a little bit of it. And the lead prosecutor, his last name is Blackwell. Well, the biggest thing And we have to realize how or understand how putting how time consuming, how meticulous it goes into putting a case together, especially when you're talking about putting on trial a police officer, not only a police officer, but a on duty police officer, an active on duty police officer, active and on duty. And the fact of the matter that this guy acted with such impunity, and when he was doing what he was doing, when he's accused of doing what he's doing, I mean, because everybody in the world, everybody on the face of the earth saw this video, and the fact that the way that he was on his disdain, his feeling of entitlement was emblazed across his face, as if he had his knee in George Floyd's neck and just pressing down on it for 9 minutes and 39 seconds, compressing compressing his carotid artery, basically cutting off blood supply to the brain. Subsequently, for Floyd to pass out and die. So, but here's the flip. The defense is going to say that this was not due, that Chauvin's actions did not lead to Floyd's death, but they're going to say that what led to Floyd's death was the fact that Floyd had medical issues. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the man was a crackhead. Doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. That doesn't matter. This man was a human being, and he had the right to due process. Derek Chauvin took that from him. That is what that is one of the things that we constantly talk about. We have to fully understand the terminology of due process. The terminology of due process means that you have the right, that as a human being, as a citizen. Now, we've talked about that word too, citizen. We've talked about that. This is one of the things that lead police officers to treat black men and black women in such a way, because they don't look at us as citizens. They look at us as dogs, as animals, as branded beasts. This is how they look at us. And this is how George Floyd, and I know people say, well, this is speculation. No, it's not speculation, because when you look into this man's eyes and you see how he the disdain that he had, and he was doing it, and not only the fact that he knew the camera was on him, but he continued to mean mug the camera. Did he have any idea that this man was going to die? Probably not. Did he get up that morning thinking, I'm going to go and put my neck on some nigga, put my knee on some nigga's neck and choke the life out of him? Probably not. I mean, he probably didn't get up to that day, but nevertheless, it did happen. Nevertheless, it did happen. And not only that, but he did this in front of 7 or 8 people. See, this is one of the things to where if this the defense attorney, I'm not defense, but I mean the prosecutor, and then the name of the prosecutor, and the prosecutor's name is Jerry Blackwell. Jerry Blackwell. What Jerry Blackwell did, he came out swinging. What I say coming out swinging, I mean that he came out and he played the video of Chauvin with his knee in Floyd's neck, and he counted down 9 minutes and 29 seconds. 9 minutes and 29 seconds. I mean, and not to mention the fact that George Floyd was pleading with him, I can't breathe. People who were standing there on the scene were telling them, get off. The man can't breathe. Get off of him. Get off of him. Get off of him. Um, with that being said, I'm gonna read you a small clip of what Blackwell said in court today. Um, the white officer didn't let up even after a handcuffed Floyd said 27 times that he couldn't breathe and went limp. Blackwell said the case triggered worldwide protests, scattered violence, and national soul searching. He put his knee upon his neck and his back, grinding and crushed him until the very breath. No, ladies and gentlemen, until the very life was squeezed out of him. Now, I'm gonna tell you, as a for a prosecutor to say that and to hammer that home, and to work and working to get a serious conviction, because this dude is looking at four felonies. The biggest one, he's looking at third-degree murder. And see, what the third and with the third-degree murder, almost in the third-degree murder pretty much ensures a conviction. Pretty much, huh? As on third degree. Okay, the question was for third degree murder. And this is in the state of Minnesota. He's looking anywhere from 15 to 30 years. Now, with that being said, now you have to add on the other three charges, which the other three charges range from anywhere from 2 to 7. So, with that being said, he's looking at 25 years to life. He's looking at that. This is what he's looking at. So, with that being said, and Chauvin is he's up in age. He is up in age, and Chauvin is 46 years old. If they convict him and they give him 35 years, his life is over with. He's 46 years old. They can give him 35 years and his life is over. He'll be coming out when he's damn near 80 years old. 80. Now, once the prosecution opened up their case, then the defense came in and they immediately disputed the cause of death. They're saying that George Floyd did not die from asphyxiation, but the fact that George Floyd had fentanyl and methamphetamines in his system. And also see, this is called character assassination, but this is part of and it's crazy to say this, but in a murder trial, this is part of the game. It's part of, for that matter, not so much a murder trial, but in any type of trial to where you're charged with a serious felony, the defense is going, and especially if the victim has created an outcry. So what do they do is that they create character assassination and they try to destroy him. And by saying that George Floyd's drug use combined with heart disease, high blood pressure, and the adrenaline, which, okay, really, seriously, caused a heart rhythm disturbance that killed him. Regardless of the fact that if this was true, you as a police officer, and we have to keep talking about this. As a police officer, you are sworn, you are bound to uphold the law, protect the innocent, and preserve life. Derek Chauvin violated all principles of those simple canons. And the most damaging one is the preservation of life. The preservation. Dealing with, and I can only imagine that if you are a member on the jury and you're seeing this videotape and you're seeing this you're looking at this man his last moments, begging and pleading, and you're looking at this. You're looking at this other individual who took his life for no other reason other than because I'm a police officer and this branded beast nigger is going to do what he's going to comply if I have to kill him to do it. Yes, that is the truth. That is a hard statement. But before I go too far, if you got a comment, you want to chime in on this on this topic, Derek Chauvin, Eric and George Floyd, the lines are open. 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953 if you got a comment. But going back to that part about with any trial, the defense is going to portray the victim as a bad guy. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. That's how the game. That's how it works. Unfortunately, we have to use the terminology. That's how the game is played, because law, justice, that's what it is. I mean, when you have prosecutors and defense attorneys sitting at lunch divvying up cases, I don't want this case. I'll trade you two possessions, a car, a grand theft auto, and a robbery for this murder, for this attempted murder, or for this assault. This is what they do. This is how it's done. Make no mistake about it, people. This is how it's done. This is how it's done. How it's done. Now, if you're one of those individuals that's sitting on the jury, and and you have to realize we're talking about people. When you're talking about a juror, and you have to ask, and how many people, just how many of you all have ever served on a jury? I mean, I'm not talking about going to jury duty where you're sitting there and you're waiting for them to call you to come in to get vetted. I'm talking about where you're selected to be on a jury. I mean, I'm asking my engineer, Earl, have you ever been selected to sit on a jury trial? Okay, so it's hard, it's kind of difficult to really understand the process. It really is, because these people and it was very difficult because it took them 3 weeks to actually seat a jury, because they had to find people that would be able to be impartial to administer the law and be impartial at the same time. Now, there isn't a person on the face of the earth who hasn't seen that video of Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. There isn't a person who hasn't seen it. And most of the jurors said that they heard of it, they heard of it, or they saw it. Does that completely disqualify them? No, not necessarily. But the judge did ask them some hard questions. Are you able to be impartial? Are you able to do that? And for some people, the easy answer would be yes. And trying to get an understanding of what is going on. You're asked to sit in judgment of another man of one person who took the life of another. That's what the term homicide means. Death by another, or death at the hands of another. And this is what this is boiling down to be. Okay, or third degree murder. Truth be told, this guy, I'm a betting man, and this guy, they're going to convict him, and not only do they have does the prosecution have to get a conviction, they have to get double digit time. Because what's going to happen is that the other three officers who were with him that day, they have their own attorneys. They're going to turn on him. There's an old saying uh, um, in law enforcement that whoever talks first gets the best deal. And that's what's going to happen. Derek Chauvin is going to be the proverbial sacrificial lamb for Minnesota, because see, we here in Chicago, we've already had our sacrificial lamb. We had Jason Van Dyke and Laquan McDonald. That's the sacrificial lamb. Somebody's got to go, and Jason Van Dyke went, and he went straight to prison covered in mint jelly. Derek Chauvin next on tap. Next on tap. He's going to be that lamb, and they got a tub of mint jelly waiting for him. So when you're looking at this, and having to watch this and take and get a perspective of it on what is going on and how this is happening, it's very difficult to not feel some kind of way and say, okay, and you're asking the question, what could have been on this person's mind? Now, this is now you're speaking about an average person, and these people who are on the jury would be considered average individuals. These are people who, if you walked up to them and asked them on the street, could you have done something? Are you capable of doing something like that? And 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you it wouldn't have even crossed their mind. Would not even cross their mind. These are the charges, and then just a little correction, just a correction here. Derek Chauvin is charged with unintentional second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and manslaughter. The most serious charge is a second-degree murder count that carries up to 40 years. 40 years. I'm going to repeat that. Unintentional second degree, third degree, and manslaughter. And the only reason, and this is how you get a conviction. This is how you structure a conviction. You don't give the defense any type of wiggle room to say, to put in the judge's mind, hey, we need to eliminate this, or we need to eliminate that, because the trial was actually held up. It was actually held up because they had to go to the state Supreme Court, and they were amending the charges for Chauvin to add the third degree murder. This is the other thing, because when you're adding these particular counts, this will ensure a conviction. But the fact that the second degree murder carries he can be sentenced up to 40 years. He's already 46. So if there's a conviction, if he gets 20 years, if he gets 30 years, it's over. It's absolutely over for this guy. Absolutely. Not a whole lot that can talk about. Now, the other guys, they're subject to probably wind up getting something along the lines of possibly 15, anywhere between 10 to 15 years. Possibly. One guy might get 7 years because failure to intervene. And there's a law on in Minnesota it's considered a common sense law that if you see someone, and this is basically as far as police officers, you see someone going overboard with excessive force, you are obligated to intervene. That is in the patrolman's handbook. And there were 2 rookies on scene, and they did not do that. That's in the patrolman's handbook. If you see an officer, or if your partner, you see an officer using excessive force and it's beyond excessive force, you are to intervene. But the other part about that is the blue wall. No cops don't want to go against cops when they know that one cop is doing something bad or wrong. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that because it's a double-edged sword, because you can be ostracized or mess around and don't get any backup and take a bullet. Then trust me, I have known that to happen, to where one cop ratted on another and that cop wind up getting killed. All they said was an accident, but really, yeah, okay. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. That's just it. That's just it. But we're gonna take a little break here on iHeart Intellectual Radio, Black Conservative Radio, to try to catch up on some things. Shout out to Captain Hook, my man over there on 85th and Cottage Grove, 103rd and King Drive, and 15922 South Kedzie in Markham, Illinois. We will be right back.
These niggas think it ain't crazy out here. Net bounce. Y'all gotta pardon me tonight. I feel like a superhero up in here. When the spit, gotta hit him, gotta get him like new shit. They call me Batman, cause the black mask is on my face. Gun up on my waist, booted and suited in them black case. I'm looking for some hood rats that I take to the back cave. Y'all lame like blank man, while I'm steady serving them like pistol on my utility belt, like yeah, I keep my identity to myself, like you don't want me to grab that thing from the shelf, like I call them robbing, cause that's my only help, right? Okay. Girls hit my bat signal when they know that I'm coming. I say I ain't here for nothing, now give me that cat woman. As soon as we started stomach pumping, somebody had started thumping. She jumped up and caught her breath like, did you hear something? As soon as I get near to y'all, you want me to get into y'all. Ain't trying to tease, don't play with your mind like the Riddler. Girl, I'm really feeling ya, but you're acting two-faced. Her body smell fresh, but her breath needs some toothpaste. Nah, I ain't even gonna play with her, I'm gonna give it to her all the way straight. Wait, she said quit playing. What you think, I'm a joker? About a money freaking, by the end of the night it's over. This girl will poison ivy, but I'ma have to give her a chance. Cause this a one night stand, but I'ma have bigger plans. Jump from top to roof like through the window like Batman, you goof, right? Hit the floor, then I duck roll, shoot like a uppercut. That'll leave him sack or two, right? Look, this what I told her. Girl,
Hey, and welcome back to iHeart Intellectual Radio, Black Conservative Radio. I am your host, Alan J. Campbell, a.k.a. The Batman. All right, back to the Derek Chauvin situation here. The way that they're, the way that, it's early. So we really right now it's going to be, it's going to be, it's early. So right now you really can't get a pulse for how it's going to go and unfold. But what the prosecutor is going to do is they're going to lay out everything they have. They're going to lay out majority of everything they have, and then they're going to bring in their witnesses, and especially the 8 or 9 people that were on scene the day that this happened. And that in itself, people, is possibly the most damning evidence, is sometimes collaborating witnesses. And not only that, but the other part is that the video is going to collaborate a lot of this. The fact that you did this with impunity, you acted with impunity. Even after EMS got there, you still treated this man as if he was an animal that was hunted down, shot, and now he's prized. that you can throw on the hood of your car, splayed out, and drive through town with. Now, make no mistake about this. This is what they this is what they used to do to us in the deep south. This is what they used to do to us. They said they would hunt us down, kill us, and then display us out on in a buckboard wagon, or as the turn of the century, a car hung from a tree. Not only hung from a tree, but hung from a tree, castrated, and then what? Set on fire. They would, I mean, Jay, this is the thing that where we're at right now. I mean, short of the fire, short of, and here's the thing, here's the other thing, the most scary part. If um if people did not have video, if they didn't have video, telling what no telling what would have no telling what story they could have spent, no telling what they could have said or told. This goes back to the years of police brutality and killing black men. This goes back to that because there's no one around to tell the story. There's no one around to verify, to back this up. There's no one around to do this. Now, the fact that we have video, and everybody has a cell phone of some sort, some type of camera, some type of recording device. It's very difficult to hide this now. Very, very difficult. Very difficult to do that. Up now, got a reverb. So, yeah, it just popped up. Yeah, it just did. So, anyway, um, you can no longer, you can no longer hide this now, because now with the fact that they're mandating police officers have body cams, and not to mention the fact that these cops had body cams on, and it's still, and even to a point, even with body cams, there's some officers still operating with impunity. They just don't care. I don't give a damn. I got a camera on. I'm the police. Who's gonna believe you? Well, we got it on video. I don't care what the video say. I don't. This is the thinking and thought process. This is how some of these people are thinking. And this is where sometimes you have to really start to thinking about the mentality of some of these police officers, the mentality, the thought process. Okay, do we say that some of these cops get up and they, let's just be honest. Okay, and I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one to step out there. Let's be honest about this. Yes, there are police officers out there who get up and go to the job just to mess with niggas. This is the only reason that they go to work. It's not the pay. It's not the camaraderie. They're going there just to make a nigga's life miserable. Because why? I have a gun and a badge, and it's nobody going to say anything different. Yes, this is the thought, and this is the truth. We have to come to that. We have to come to that realization that this is what this really is. There are some bad police officers out there. There's bad policing, as I choose to call it. There is bad policing, but that only changes when we start to address certain things. When you have other police officers saying enough is enough, or they start holding other police officers accountable. And what we're seeing right now is that we have to, Derek Chauvin and the other 3 police officers have to be held accountable. You took a man's life for no particular reason other than being black. Other than being black. Other than now, and I want to, and while I got before I run out of time, um, I want to, and this is a parallel to what we're dealing with George Floyd. Okay, over the last, I would do the last three and a half weeks, we've had a onslaught. We've had an onslaught of attacks against Asian Americans or Asians. Let me put it that way, Asians. Okay, against Asians. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be totally honest. Truth be told, I don't feel sorry for one, not one of them, not one. Sorry, I don't. You can say that that's being harsh and cruel. No, I don't. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna give you my reason why. These are the same people that who have opened up a businesses billion-dollar businesses in our community. To a certain degree, we allow it, but to another degree, they know these people. They know where the money is. So to a degree, I can't fault them. If you know how to make money off of somebody, why not set up shop in this area? Why not? Now, 2 weeks, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, we had mass shooting down there in Atlanta, where eight people in a spa. Out of the eight, five were Asian. Five were Asian. Okay, is it a tragic loss? Okay, so be it. It is what it is. It is what it is. But then all of a sudden, here's the thing. See, this just lets you know how your country actually sees us as black people. Here it is. You had this mass shooting in Atlanta, and believe it or not, do you know that they have already got a bill on the House floor to protect Asian Americans? Are you effing kidding me? So you mean to tell me it took a few people whooping some Asian ass and killing a few of them and burning down their stores, and throwing chop suey and everything all around the place just to get legislation to the floor. But the United States have been killing niggers since you got here. And not one, there's not one bill up, not one bill to protect blacks against violence from other nationalities. Help me understand that one. They actually have a bill on the floor. Then these individuals are out in front of the Capitol, out on the side of the road, wherever the hell it is that they're going to be, and saying, oh my goodness, stop the Asian hate. Stop the Asian hate. Really? Stop the Asian hate. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. Then Kamala Harris, she didn't say once. She didn't chime in at all. That's right. You know why? Because why? Oh, wait a minute. Not to mention, I don't think I mentioned this when not to mention that they found a guy. I kid you not. Found a guy posted up near one of Kamala Harris's homes. They found several weapons, 300 rounds of ammunition, and other things. Okay. Remember now, Kamala Harris is part Asian. Remember now, you all remember you put this is some gun you put in there. She's not black, people. Remember that she's not black. She is not black. She's not. Get that through your thick skull. She's not Asian American. Help me understand. How does Congress put a bill? Oh, that's right. Because you know why? It only matters to those that care. We have to protect the Asians. We have to enact it. We have to create a equality act to protect the Asians. I don't hear nothing. Where's my, where's my bill? Where's my bill that protects me from police brutality, that protects me from racist white people, for that matter, racist, not only racist white people, but racist Hispanics against me. Where is the bill? They're even pushing. Here's the thing. Once again, we're being pushed. We're being pushed back. We're being pushed back. We're being pushed back. We're being pushed back. So this thing with Derek Chauvin, and I use that as a parallel because what is going to change if they should they convict Derek Chauvin? Because make no mistake, this guy is going. This dude, he is going to the booty house. Make no mistake about that, because they got plenty of room for that. Plenty of room. They got plenty of room at the booty house. And in fact, when they get done, they're going to be able to drive a truck up his behind and up his behind, and the truck will have enough room to turn around and won't even scrape the sides and turn around and come back out. That's how much room they're going to have for this guy. Make no mistake about it. None. Do we see them making an example out of him? Maybe. But the biggest thing is that if you're going to do this, you get the conviction. The question is, what is going to change for Black people in America? What is going to change for Black people? At what point does the Black Caucus, and it's 60 of these MFers, 60, do they take up the mantle and say, we have to protect our own? Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you, standing up for their own in Congress. I'm going to tell you right now. You got certain white liberals, certain white conservatives. You have certain Asian members. You have certain Hispanic members. You have certain gay and the LBGQ members, transgenders. All of these people are standing up for this group of people, but the Black Caucus is not standing up for Black people. Do you realize the fact that, okay, if every member of the Black Caucus actually not showed up for a vote hearing, it would die. They would be able to, if they were smart enough to say, hey, wait, why are we talking about Asian rights? Why are we talking about that? Why are we having that conversation? We got a man that's dead who was basically choked to death by a white police officer in front of the world. Where do we stand up for the rights of every Black person that's ever lost their life to a police officer, or at the hands, let me rephrase that, at the hands of law enforcement? The hands of law enforcement, and some without provocation. Some without provocation. Okay, so George Floyd resisted arrest. Okay, you all have always heard me say that, you know what, it is better, sometimes it's better to comply and sort it out when you get to the jail. Okay, because most cases doesn't turn out the way you're gonna think. Okay, but at the same time, the initial stop was for allegedly passing a counterfeit $20 bill, which, by the way, no one has yet to say that they have in their possession, or did this actually happen. Derek Chauvin was the senior officer, which means that you were supposed to set the example. You were supposed to set not only an example, but you were supposed to be the model for the young generation of cops that are coming through. I'm gonna tell you, I, it's and this is just me. Granted, when I do things, I do them the way I do them the way that I see fit, or I do or in the way that's most beneficial. Okay, who gives that's my thing. Who gives a shit on how it gets done as long as it gets done? Got is got, done is done, and that's just my way. But on the other hand, on the flip side of that, and see, that's only me doing this because I know what I'm doing, and it's a calculated risk. It's a gamble. But if I have other people around me, if I have I'm and I have to I'm showing, for example, working with my guys, I'm telling them to do things in the proper way, in the proper manner, no shortcuts, because we live in an environment and age now where shortcuts are very, very costly. Especially if you don't know what you are doing. If you don't know what you're doing, I tell all my guys, do it the right way. Do it the way you were told, the way you were taught, the way that I showed you. Don't do it this way. Derek Chauvin had a duty and an obligation to de-escalate this situation. Now, this is how I personally would have handled this. I'm the senior officer, or what they call the officers, sergeant or the FTO, or the field training officer. Okay, I need to find out the bottom line on what was the nature. Okay, we got Sarge, we got this. What is the nature of the stop, sir? What do you mean? Okay, now we're gonna play. Now we're gonna play stupid. Why did you stop him? Let me dummy this down for the dummy. Why did you stop him? Well, we got a complaint that he was passing a counterfeit bill to purchase merchandise. Did you see this bill? Well, no. Who has the bill? Who said this? This is getting all the information. Now I'm going to talk to the individual that's the said known individual. Okay, Mr. Floyd. Okay, give me your side. Give me your side of what was going on. Well, this, and blah blah blah. Okay, so this, that, and the other, and so on and so forth. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to run is, I'm going to run is 27th. And police talk running is called a 1027. 1027 is getting the information, the personal information or the pedigree information from a person, meaning their name, getting their name, their social, and their address from them. And that gives you the authority. And see, once they agree, now you can proceed on to the next portion of running their background and see, okay, well, this, that, and the other. Oh, you know what? And just so happened, here's the thing that should have crossed is the fact that Derek Chauvin and George Floyd both moonlighted at the same club, but on different nights to a certain degree. And I used to do security, and and this is just me. Once again, it's just me. I made it my business to know all of the security guards. So just in case there is an issue or we run into each other or whatever, we know each other. We got an understanding just in case. It's called being aware of your surroundings. It's called getting to know it's getting to know certain things. It's getting the information, being prepared. Now, if the situation had been in a de-escalating mode, and then that might have given George Floyd, say, listen, man, I've seen, we work at the same club over here on 6th Avenue. What's the name of the club? Well, the name of the club is whatever. Oh, okay, yeah, I get. Okay, so what night? Well, I'm there Monday. I'm there Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, well, I'm there Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, oh, okay. So we might blah, 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 blah. This is a level of de-escalation. Now, like I say, and remember now, a lot of this is what we're going off the assumption. A lot of that. And see, when when I'm looking at something, I try to I try to use philosophy and use philosophy in ascertaining the best course of action. And for those, and just giving you a little background, and the word philosophy and it derives from the Greek language, and the definition of philosophy is lover of wisdom. So when you're trying to ascertain what is going on, how to deal with this, what's the best course of action, a little bit of philosophy, a little bit of reasoning, a little bit of this is learning and understanding people. And what it was is that this particular officer, Derek Chauvin, it was not in his best interest because he'd been on the job too long to get to know this man or to de-escalate the situation on what and why and what needed to be done otherwise. What needed to be done. It's difficult to say how to de-escalate a situation because if you don't have all the necessary information, or if you have an individual who is having a psychotic break, it's difficult to do that. Police officers are not psychiatrists. Let's get that straight. Let's get that out in the open now. They're not psychiatrists. They're not psychologists. They are there to suppress and quell. That's their job, and to protect the property, preserve life, and so on and so forth. Simple principles, but it's very difficult to do when the environments keep changing, when the scenarios are different. You could be a cop for 30 years, and every cop will tell you the same thing. No two calls are ever alike. Every call or every job is completely different. The fact that there were 4 police officers who are now who are now linked to this man's death will forever haunt them for the rest of their days. Especially the 2 rookie officers who sided with the blue wall instead of siding with common sense. They sided the blue wall instead of exercising their sense of exercising their core values. It's a simple right, a core value. This is a human being that is being choked to death right before your eyes, and you don't say anything. You know what? Good luck. Good luck. But as I look up, I see the lights flashing and the helicopter is about to land. So what does that mean? That means that's all the time we have here on iHeart Intellectual Radio, Black Conservative Radio tonight. We got into it talking about the George Floyd, Derek Chauvin trial. And this is going to continue to go on. It's going to go on, and we're going to continue to talk about it. And between now and then, it's going to be so much that's going to happen. So no telling what next week's show is going to be about. No telling. But anyway, with that being said, shout out to my man Alex over there on 85th and Cottage Grove, to my sponsor, 85th and Cottage Grove, 103rd and King Drive, and 15922 South Kedzie. Captain Hook. Get over there, get you some good food. And with that being said, not my monkey, not my circus. See y'all next week.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.